Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial in this Django and React tutorial series. And I think I figured out the issue that we had with our template not loading is one of the most simple mistake that I did. So after we install any packages, we need to add it on the install apps, which is what was missing. So it was not recognizing any templates from RIS framework. Regardless, it was working functionally. So we'll just go ahead and see if this fixes it. There we go. These are two of the entries that we have in our database. And we can also verify this by going in the admin panel. And if we look at it, there's this entry that we created using Postman. So in this video, we are going to dive further into creating the put and delete request for our recommendations. So we need to work with details and everything. So put delete details. So we'll just say class recommendation detail view API view. And here we need to, okay, it's it's just suggesting me all the code, but let's go line by line. Self request and primary key or ID, whatever you want to use it. We'll say recommendation equals get object or 404 recommendations model with that ID. Let's import this. Okay, that's not the package. It's from, I'm gonna have to see my reference here. So it's from Django.shortcuts. Okay. So now we have that, and it's going to give us a single entry, and we're going to have to follow this same principle. We're going to have to serialize the data and then return the response. So serializer is recommendation serializer that serializes this recommendation. It's a single entry because we have given an ID over here. Now we can just go ahead and return the response with serializer.data. We're basically doing the same thing as we did over here, and our status code is going to be 200. Now that will give us, let's just check it out, or no, let's just finish it first. Now we need a put request that is also called update. So we'll pass in the same thing, and let's delete this for right now because we want to do it line by line. Let's get object 404, get that recommendation, and we need a serializer, recommendation serializer, recommendation, and this is the data that we already have. And now we're going to pass in the data that we're going to pass in to update this entry. So that data is going to come from request.data. That's why we pass the request over here. And partial equals false. Let's just do false for right now because we want to update the whole thing. Same thing here. If serializer is valid, we'll save it, return the data, and 200. But if there's any error, we'll just return response with serializer.errors and 400 bad request. Now we need a delete request. We'll say delete, self request, primary key. Same thing, we're getting that particular recommendation using its primary key, and we're going to say recommendation.delete, and once it's deleted, we'll return a response saying 204, there's no content anymore. So that creates our get all get a specific, update a specific entry, and delete a specific entry. So let's register this in our URLs. Okay, and sorry. Okay, this autocomplete is really bugging me, but nonetheless, it's recommendations, and we are providing the primary key, which is going to be an integer. If we look at over here, it is asking for a primary key in the URL. So we are passing the primary key over here, and we're calling the detail view and the recommendation detail. Okay, let's save this. Okay, we don't have any errors right now. Let's put the put method in. So this is right now. We'll just say right now, and we'll give it the theme of number 2. And when we send it, it should give us put method not allowed. Oh, it needs the ID, of course. So let's get and check its ID first. Its ID is 2, so we'll give it ID of 2. Put right now into now. This should work. And there we go. It has updated right to right now, and it has updated our theme to 2. So if we go to get, it has updated over here, and it to get the details of that particular entry, this entry, that's how you do it, put in the URLs. So what's really going on over here is after recommend, if you just do recommendations, it's going to call this view, and you could either get all the recommendations or create a new entry in the recommendation. But instead, if you add a primary key in the URL with recommendations, just how we did it over here, it's going to call these methods. You have access to either get the detail of that particular entry. You could either update that particular entry with the data you want to update, and you could either delete it as well. So let's try deleting it. And it just wants this ID. If we do this, we should get 204. There we go, 204, no content. So we'll go to get and do this. It's 404 because we don't have any entry right now. And if we look at all of our list, and we have only one in the database. So with this, we have get all the entries in the database for the recommendations. We can even create a recommendation, update a recommendation, or delete a recommendation. So we do have a working view, working model, and working endpoints right now. And in the next video, we'll integrate the AI model and AI endpoint to recommend us songs in the format we want. So up until now, if you have any issues, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you guys in the next one.